Hello guys, and hope you guys had a wonderful trading week. Now last week we shared with you guys our thoughts on the chart, and price played out almost as we expected, right? And we told you guys last week that we're looking for price to push up into this resistance zone, this 50% monthly fib, and this entire area right here, and then from there we'll be looking for sales. And I told you guys we could look for to capitalize on the buys, and the price will be able to most likely come down into 4,000 level and then push up from there. And as you can see, price did come down and then began to push up. So if you were able to get the buys, very good. And as price got into the zones, they started to look for our buys. As you can see, we started seeing a minor rejections. We saw rejections from down up here, and then price pushed higher. And then on Friday we tried catching the sell just before the news, and price actually moved down about 1:8 there about before price just pushed right back up and took us out at break even after we took some partials, right? So that's it. So now in this new week, what are we going to be looking out for? We're basically going to be looking out for the same things, right? But let's give you a complete top-down analysis on what to actually expect. So we're going to be deleting a few things right here now. And also guys, don't forget to subscribe and subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share with others. All right, so we've deleted the things that we need to delete now. So let's do the top-down analysis for you guys and let you guys know what you could actually look out for in this new week. Now let's start from the monthly time frame. Now looking at the monthly, we can still see that gold is still, is still pointing to the downside. All right, even though overall, like I've always been saying, that gold is bullish, right? Because gold is bullish, it still has higher highs and higher lows on the monthly time frame, right? Because if price have not yet broken below um down here around the 2538, right, gold is still very much bullish on the monthly. All right, but gold is still pointing to the downside. Even though it's bullish, right, there's still a chance that gold is still going to most likely drop, especially if you look right here. You see that there's a fair value gap in this monthly, and this in this monthly charts, right? You can see this fair value gap right there. So there's a tendency for price to actually still drop. In fact, I don't think the bullishness has fully resumed. Right? I know some guys are thinking that gold has resumed its bullishness. I'm not certain about that yet. If you're in on this buy, it's very good for you. You can still hold it just in case, but you should still be looking out for sales, right? So let's go to the weekly. Let's see what things are looking like. Now on the weekly, now you can clearly see that on the weekly, even though the monthly is bullish, right, the weekly is bearish, right? You can see higher highs and higher lows, right? You can see, let's draw this for you quickly so you see this. You can see here, higher low, higher high, then higher low, then this is a lower high with a lower low, like that. So it changed character right there. And this is another lower low and lower high and lower low here, and then here right now it hasn't yet created a higher high, right? So the structure on the weekly is still very much bearish. All right, so let's see. So even though we have this massive green candle, there's a tendency for price to go to just give us a massive drop next week, right? We could just see all this body here being covered, right? Gold could just completely drop. All right, so let's go to the daily. So one other thing we could mark here also is the 50% on this weekly candle. Let's mark that. All right, so we've marked the 50% weekly fib right here. That's 4197 level, right? And as you can see, that looks like a support area, right? But let's just go to the lower time frame. Let's go to the daily. Let's see what things are looking like there. Now, looking at the daily, we can see things a bit clearer now, right? So on the daily now, you can see that gold now on the daily is giving us a bullish structure, right? Because you see a higher high and higher lows and all that, right? But so we have monthly bullish, weekly bearish, daily now currently bullish. Okay, so and I'm sure the 4 hour also is currently bullish as well. But let's see. So now, like I said, we could still see a drop from this MR level that we have marked here. So let's extend this a little bit, because this current high here hasn't yet been broken. Okay, so this level here hasn't yet been broken. Okay, so let's leave that. But still, I don't want to have too many lines, so let's just remove that. Then we have this week. We'll still leave this right here. We'll still leave this right there. Let's see how things go next week. Okay, so so there's a tendency, even if price is going to continue bullish, there's a tendency for price to come down into this level and then give us rejections to the upside from there. All right, there's a tendency, so we could actually capitalize on the sales. But like I said, there's also a possibility for price to just continue tanking, which is what I think I'm expecting to happen. All right, so but let's go to the 4-hour. Let's see what the 4-hour is looking like. Now looking at the 4-hour, okay, what can we expect next week to happen? It's simple. I can expect that gold will most likely go up to first of all take liquidity from here. Once price takes liquidity from this previous week's high, then we're going to start seeing price tank. All right, so price will most likely drop by next week. Now, like I said, price could drop into this 50% weekly fib level, and from there we could start looking for our buys. All right, or price could actually continue tanking. Whichever one price wants to do, we don't know. We just have to wait and see. But there's going to be there's going to likely be an opportunity for us to sell from right here at 4375 level. Okay, so that's just what I'm going to be looking out for majorly from next week. So let's see how it goes, guys. Do hope you have a wonderful trading week, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Bye, guys.